Peace and blessings. How are you guys doing? It's me, Novakane Omega, aka Black Girl Gamer. Um, I am here today with another tutorial for y'all. So, about to get it in. Missed y'all. Gotta, keep up with my peoples out here, with my fellow business people. So, what's up? So, I don't like to lollygag too long before I get into it. Today's video is going to be about business. All right. We're talking about business hacks and stuff like that. It's just another one in a long series now of business hack videos that I have made about different things we can do as business people, as entrepreneurs, to do a better job with our businesses that we're running by hand. Right? You're running your business by hand. I'm running my business by hand. We need all the help we can get. So anything we can do to make life easier, I think we should do that. Amen. All right. So before we go forward, let's say, I'm Black Girl Gamer. You can follow me at Black Girl Gamer on different stuff. Here's another version of the logo. Look. All right. And here's Each Nine Teach Nine logo. Yes. All right. But the aim of my show is to teach us all to encourage teaching among our community. A lot of us know a lot of different stuff, and I want to make sure we share that information with each other to help inspire each other to do better. And it's really all about that. So give me a share, like, a follow if you must go. I know you have a life to live. Other than that, stick around. All right. So what are we talking about today? We're talking about a business hack called customer service. It sounds boring, but it's not. This is something that I think we know a lot about, but we don't really realize the full potential of the spirit of customer service and how much money we leave on the table when we are not practicing proper customer service techniques. So we don't want to do that anymore. We don't want to leave. Let me put that in the banner right now. Okay. And if you're there, please say peace. You know what I'm saying? At least say peace to me. Then you can lurk all you want or whatever you want to do. But don't leave money. This keyboard really sticks on the table, y'all. Let's stop leaving money on that table. And what do I mean by that? I'm meaning that it's one thing for you to have a good burger. It's one thing for you to have a good pair of sneakers or whatever that you might sell. It's good that you know how to make soap. But do you know how to treat people? Do you know how to get that repeat customership over and over and over? Do you know how to encourage people to want to brag about your company or your business? In friendships, though, this is a spiritual technique. And I think this is something that I can't stress enough. Corgan, Oregon, how you doing? Hey, let me hold up some Oregon for you since you're here in honor of your presence, sir. Here we go. Corgan, Oregon. All right. Thanks for saying peace. So when you're talking about customer service, you're not really just talking about how you treat people who are going to give you money. You're talking about how you treat people in your life, period. You're talking about how you treat people who you have some kind of contract with, meaning you're their daughter, you're their husband or wife, you're their friend, or you're doing something for them in a friendship way or in a spiritual way. Customer service still applies, and you can never be lonely. Let me put that. You will never be lonely, and you'll never be broke, right? You'll never be lonely, and you'll never be broke if you practice proper customer service techniques. Okay, so we're going to talk about it. But the main thing I want to talk about is not leaving that money on the table. Okay, and I want you guys to chime in because I think one thing, hey, what's up, Bowtie? And salute. You'll be listening. Hey, do your thing, everybody. You know what I mean? I appreciate just your presence. I appreciate you always. And you're a regular, so I appreciate you. One thing that I think we feel overwhelmed by is the fact that we have to wear so many hats at this point in our lives with all of this technology and stuff like that. It's very difficult to leave the impact that you're trying to leave with people. And a lot of us get so caught up in what we're trying to sell that we forget that there's this free, usually it's free, it's not always free, but there's this free thing we can do. It's called customer service, baby. You know what I'm saying? You don't have to spend any money to do good customer service, do you? No, you don't. You can add money in, but you don't have to spend money, right? So before I go forward, I always like to qualify and quantify myself with credentials. So let's talk about who I am right quick. You know what I'm saying? Who am I? And why should you care? Right? I'm Novakane Omega, And aside from being an MC, most of the jobs that I have had to do in my life, or most of the jobs that I've taken on in my life, have been customer service jobs. I worked at a telemarketing place at first. That was my first job ever. Then I worked at a place called Map Mobile Communications, very customer service oriented type of job, where I was like a virtual secretary and I had to pretend to be all these different secretaries or whatever. And then I started working at QVC and I worked in customer service as well as working, taking orders and stuff like that. So then moving from there, I was the office manager at a place called Excellence Girls Club. And then I was the office manager at a place called Positive Vibes DJs. Okay. So in doing that, I learned a lot about customer service, but nothing has taught me more about customer service than working in the community with all of you guys and becoming a voice actor, a professional voice actor slash actress, whatever word you want to use, for a living. Okay. In doing that, customer service has become the bedrock of how I make my money. And it's become the bedrock of how I keep my customers coming back for more and more and more. And I'm going to prove that to you today. I'm not just saying that. All right. So are you a business person? Let's just start there. You know what I mean? Let's start there. So that's who I am. But who are you? Are you a business person? A lot of us always out here talking about how we make that money and how we make that cheddar and that money in the cheddar and securing the bag. But then when you try to do business with most of us, especially a lot of us in the black community, black and brown community, we seem to be lacking, not that we're bad at business, but some of us are just, we're ignorant to business, which is a little different than being bad. Like we just don't know what to do. And we don't realize that some of the things that we're doing and saying are causing detrimental results to us being able to grow our business. And then we start running in place because we're not having a easy time, you know what I mean, making it pop, you know what I'm saying, or whatever. And we're like, well, what's wrong? I make good t-shirts. I make good hamburgers. I make good vegan, whatever. I mean, I make excellent, whatever it is you provide. But you don't know how to say thank you and please, and it's killing your business. Okay. So let's talk about that. All right. So let me say this. As lifelong customers, we all know a lot about customer service. It's not like I'm the only one that knows about it. We're Americans. Somebody's been trying to sell us some shit the whole time we've been on earth. Right. So we know what it is to be a customer. Because you know what it is to be a customer, guess what? You actually know quite a lot about customer service. But that doesn't mean you know how to implement it when it's time for you to do it, right? So we often fail to implement what we know when it comes to running our own business. And that's the part where I step in because I'm tired of feeling like us as the black race, people always say that about us, like, oh, we don't do good business, or, black folks business, I've heard so many black people say this, you know what I'm saying? I try to support our businesses, but we don't do da-da-da. And then I've had it happen. I've supported businesses. There's a place out here, it's a soul food restaurant called Martin's. Their food is from heaven. When you taste it, your lips fall off. It's delicious. Like you melt into a pile of butter sauce. But they don't know. I don't know how they are now. But the last time I went up in there and we had ordered some food or something we were supposed to be picking up, I mean, they didn't let anybody know whether they were open or not. They didn't come to the door. They didn't have half the shit they had sold us and everything. And it's like, damn, Martin's. Same with I think it was called Modine's. It's a Jamaican restaurant. There's this meme. I should have found the meme before I got up here. And it's a meme of a Jamaican dude. And the person is like, you got some rice and peas? He's like, we not have that. And he's like, how about some roti, man? He's like, we not have that. And then they like, well, hey, can I get some escovitch? We don't have that, right? So the reason why that's a whole meme that has traveled around the world and gained ground is because the Jamaican restaurants are known for not having what they are saying that they have at the restaurant, right? So I'm not saying it's all the Jamaican restaurants, but that shouldn't be a meme though. You feel what I mean? So that says a lot about us as people, as black people especially, when it comes to business and what we are known for being like when it comes to doing business. Meanwhile, you have all these people who do excellent business as black people and brown people. But we need more consistency and we need to be better at being self-sufficient. So that's why I'm here today to talk about this. All right. So how you guys doing? Please stay with me, hang out with me. You can lurk in the back, say peace, ask questions, chime in. And by all means, if you are good at customer service, be proud. Give us some advice. All right. So first of all, I've given you my credentials. So what is customer service, Novakane? Let's talk about what is customer service? What's customer service? Customer service is a custom service. Just take the ER off the back. It's a custom service that you provide to a person unique to them, right? Or unique to you. When you go to McDonald's, you're getting a custom service. The burger tastes a certain way. The fries taste a certain way. The people are dressed a certain way. Everything about it is custom and unique to McDonald's. And you can only go to McDonald's theoretically to get that kind of service, right? Not that it's good service, but you know what I'm saying, right? So it's a custom service you're providing. It's spiritual. Let's dwell on that just a little bit, because I said earlier, and I want you to really take this from what I'm saying today, if you don't take anything else. Customer service can cure loneliness. Are you a lonely person? Are you a person that's like, why don't people like me? Why does it seem like I have a hard time connecting with people or whatever? Are you providing good customer service as a friend? Right? Are you one of those people you don't know how to treat another person, or you're socially awkward? Be honest with yourself about that and work on it. The same way a business, if McDonald's was losing money, do you know what they would do? They wouldn't cry about it. They would look in the business mirror and say, why are we losing money as McDonald's? And then they would do something to try to repair that as McDonald's. Do you understand what I'm saying? So it's the same way with you. Look at yourself and say, how can I retain my relationships better? How can I keep people wanting to hang around me and coming back for more and vouching for me as a person? It's called customer service. The same thing you would do in a business, you would do in a friendship. Amen? All right. So customer service is a custom experience. It's spiritual. It's an experience in general. It's a mood, right? It's a specific mood that you are giving, that you're delivering. Okay. It's support. Customer service is a support system. It's a brand builder. Let's talk about that for a second. Let me not give it away too much, but I want you to think about Chick-fil-A. Chick-fil-A is known for my pleasure. When you go through the Chick-fil-A window, they're known for a lot of other things, but they're known for impeccable manners and customer service. So it builds their brand for them to have that in place. They're associated with their manners. You know what I mean? It's a brand builder. All right. We'll talk about that a little bit more. It's a trust builder. Can I count on you to deliver these things this way every time? Yes, I can. Trust is established. Business trust, right? Customer trust. It's a problem-solving technique. Customer service is how you meet the needs of the people that you're serving. Just that simple, right? It's caring. Customer service is giving a damn. It's giving a damn. Why are you having a bad experience when you eat certain fast foods? Because the people who are serving you the food don't care about you. Most of them don't care about that job. They hate it. They're putting negative energy in the food and in the experience because they don't care. Meanwhile, or why is it so important when you go to the hospital for them to have good bedside manner? Bedside manner is them caring for you and making your healing better. They could give you antibiotics, but then if they give you antibiotics and say, here, nigga, take these antibiotics and shut up, versus, are you okay? Can I get you something? Do you need some water? Do you need, you know what I mean? Like, when you've had good bedside manner in your life, didn't it feel good? Like, didn't it actually feel a way? Hell yeah, it felt a way, right? So that's all I'm saying. Customer service is that, right? All right. So, and finally, it's a lemon squeezer. I always be like, squeeze that lemon. You ever squeeze a lemon and you feel like you got all the juice out, and then you squeeze it some more and there's more juice in there? That's what customer service is. Customer service takes your good tasting burger. Chick-fil-A makes a good tasting sandwich. I can't front. It's a good quality chicken sandwich. But it's the customer service that people come back for over and over and over again. And I don't even like them like that, but I have to respect them from a business perspective because, wow, they're not leaving any money on the table. They're squeezing that lemon and getting all the juice out of it, right? Okay, so that's what customer service is. So now let's talk about some of the aspects, you guys, of customer service. And I'm not going to hold you guys all night either with this. I'm just going to go right through it as quick as I can. But it's time for us to do another business jump. You know what I mean? So I had to make sure I got it in with y'all. All right, communication. So the first letter of communication, of customer service is communication. The first pillar of it, I should say, right? Respond promptly. You hit up Veda. Y'all. Veda is a raider. What's up, raiders? You know what I'm saying? I don't know how long ago you raided, but you raiding right now. What's up, y'all? Come on in. You know what I'm saying? What's good? What's goody, family? You know what I mean? I'm getting it in. I'm talking about customer service, brand building, and stuff like that. How you doing? Yeah, you stepped into some game. You stepped right into some dookie called jewels. All right, so give me some of that real quick before I keep going. Okay, so the first pillar of the first pillar of customer service is communication. Now, y'all, I'm a voice actress. All right, I'm a voice actress. One thing that I learned, and I didn't know this really, I didn't do this at first when I first started doing this. One thing that I learned from voice acting is you got to communicate with the people, right? As soon as they book you, right? They book you, you wake up in the morning, it says so and so booked you for, $100 job, it's due in 3 days, whatever. How would the customer know that I saw their order if I didn't hit them up and say, "Hey, thanks for your order, customer. You matter." Like, thank you for for booking my services. When somebody books me, I say this like clockwork. I say, thank you for booking my services. Feel free to contact me with any questions or concerns you may have going forward. I might say I'm starting on your order soon or whatever I'm going to say. And then I say, thanks, Nova, right? And it just, now they know that I saw the order and they can move on with their lives. Have you ever been waiting for someone to show up? Oh yeah, that DAP is mine. Have you ever been waiting for somebody to show up to your house and they haven't even left the house, but you don't know that. So you're looking out your window all day until they show up, right? You're kind of not nervous, but you're anxious because you're like, okay, are they coming? Then you finally find out they're not coming, but they knew they ass won't come in an hour ago. And all they had to do was call and tell you that. Communication, customer service. This is what I mean about not being lonely. You're not going to be lonely if you use customer service on your friends. You're not going to, if you was late for your job and when you call the job, when you call the white man, I'm just playing, but when you call and say, well, shit, no, I'm not just playing. When you call the white man and be like, yo, I'm late. I'm late, Walmart. Don't fire me. You gonna come up with an excuse and everything. But when it comes to being late to your friend's house, or when it comes to standing your friend up, your supposed friend, you don't got nothing to say. You're cavalier. Don't be that way. That's the reason why some people can't keep friends, and they're really perplexed by why they can't keep friends, right? So communication. So respond promptly. Be clear when you communicate. I've had so many things that went wrong between me and my clients because there was a breakdown in communication. When you're doing, specifically when you're in business, oh shit, yes. I don't know what you amening, but that's what's up, son. Oh shit, yes. But specifically when you are doing voiceover, all right, this is how it works. A company is going to shoot, let's say, Viagra, right? Viagra is going to shoot a Viagra commercial and they want a black female voice, right? So then they go to their ad department. The ad department's job is to find the black female voice. There's a specific person in the ad department whose job it is to book the voice actor. They go and they search their Rolodex of people that they can contact. I'm in people's Rolodex now. I get a lot of recurring work. I'm going to show you guys that in a minute, but I get a lot of recurring work. They hit me up. They say, hey, are you available to do this voiceover between now and now? And, if you do it, can you guarantee you'll get it back to me tomorrow sometime? You say yay or nay, right? But let's say you don't say yay or nay. Right now, that person's in limbo waiting for you to just respond, to communicate so they can know what to tell this room full of people that's waiting to check these boxes so that Viagra can have this commercial. Then they start developing the script and then it changes and they need you to do it again and again. You get more money, so it's dope, but you have to I'm sorry. I know I'm on Facebook with it too. I try to keep it a little cuter on Facebook. You have to communicate, fam. You know what I'm saying? You can't just leave the company. You can't leave the people in limbo and expect to do well. So I have a lot of people. One reason why I'm doing this video is I have a lot of people that want me to teach them how to do voiceover. It's cute if you do voiceover, but if you're shitty at customer service, guess what, fam? You're going to suck at voiceover because it's almost more customer service than it is actually the product. The product is more important, but it's like 40-60. Like, you know what I mean? Customer service being like 40% of your success. Okay. So, you want to be clear and you want to make sure first that some stuff is a certain way before you move forward with people. You're trying to do business with them and you ain't letting them know what's going on. You ever had, anything, somebody had to cancel or whatever, and then you find out just randomly and you was like, well, when was your ass going to tell me that? Right? And it pisses you off. It wastes your time and it pisses you off. And if you take yourself seriously, you should feel like you ain't got no time to waste. Right? That's how I feel. And as you get older, you start feeling mortality kicking in on your ass and you can't get about the bed as quick. And them bones start popping a little and you start realizing, wow, Time really is money, but time is more valuable than money because you can't get time back. Time you spend waiting around on a person just to call you back or whatever. And I'm not talking about you guys when I'm a busy person. I don't always see all of you guys' messages or whatever. It's very tough to keep up with all of the people that I know and respond to them. But I'm talking about when you are in the middle of a contractual agreement with somebody, whether it's they're going to give you a ride somewhere, they're going to meet you somewhere, or they owe you a certain thing so that you can get a certain thing done. You're in the middle of a contract with that person. Just because you didn't sign it doesn't mean you're not in a contract. Contractual agreements happen verbally most of the time, right? So all you got is your word and your balls, right? You squeeze them. Nah, but I'm just saying communication is key. All right. So that's the first pillar. All right. So we talked about what customer service is. It's a customer experience that is both spiritual and physical, right? It is an experience. It's of support, brand building, trust building, problem solving, caring for your customer, and lemon squeezing. Okay. I'm going to talk more about this whole thing is about squeezing lemons, right? Getting all the juice out of the thing, right? And not leaving any money on the table. That's the main thing here. Okay. So now let's talk about the second pillar. I'm going to stop numbering them after a while because I'm going to forget what number I'm on. Manners. Manners. You know why people like me? Because I say thank you. I say please. I say, man, I really appreciate that. I say, you know what, you guys? I appreciate you being here today. You know, your comments pop up right here. I say, oh, Nomadic Hughes took time to actually type something in my thing. Let me display it up here because he cares enough about me to be here, and he doesn't have to be here. Hey, Larks, how you doing? Larks doesn't have to be here. Floyd Vader doesn't have to be here. DJ Bowtie does not have to be here, but they are. So let me have some manners, damn it, and say, hey, you guys, what's up? Thanks for coming in my joint. Y'all, I have some friends. Or people that I thought were friends who I've worked with in the past. And I'll go into their live or whatever, and then they act like they don't see me down there. And I'm like, I don't need you to pull me up on the screen and pull my face up on the screen and stop everything you're doing and say, hey, it's Novakane, you guys. Novakane, yay! I don't need you to do that, but acknowledge that I exist and that I took time to come into your feed. And that's the difference between a person never watching your live video again because they feel like you are blind when it comes to seeing them or something, right? And it just takes that little second of manners. Somebody comes into your Twitch feed, Twitchers, you know, because it look like I got a thing full of Twitchers up here. Somebody comes into your Twitch joint and they drop you some bits and you don't say nothing. And it's one thing if you don't see the bits, because sometimes the way it's set up, you don't see them. But you see the bits and you don't say anything. You see the raid and you don't say anything. You see the subscription and you don't say anything. You don't have any manners and you're leaving money on the table, dumbass. Right? Acknowledge people. When you see somebody in the street, they see you in the street. They look at you. You looked at them. Speak. It's free. It's free. And you know what it does? It's spiritual currency. It brightens the day. Does it not? It does. When someone speaks to you and they're like, hi, how you doing? Especially if they genuinely want to know how you're doing. It makes you feel good. I think. When I see people and I'm like, oh, I like her earrings. I say, sis, I like those earrings. Sis, I like that haircut. Some call it Ashe. Oh, come on now. That's right. Because, see, really, that's what it is. It's the acknowledgement. It's the affirmation. It's the confirmation. But the affirmation is deeper than the confirmation, okay? It's affirming. You exist. I see you. You matter, right? So manners is everything. It builds personality around your business. When you think about different businesses, you associate them with a certain kind of person, right? Some businesses kind of thrive on being like a rude boy. You know what I mean? Like, let's say, remember MTV? Y'all remember MTV, of course. MTV had a youthful, grab my balls and not give a fuck about society type brand and personality. And that was fine because that's what you want from MTV. But you don't want that from from something else. You don't want that from another kind of company whose job it is to, like a dentist company. You don't want, hey, I'm the bad boy of dentistry, nigga. You don't want that from your dentist, right? You want a personality of caring from your dentist, or from you see what I'm saying, or from your babysitter or whatever. You don't want it to be, I'm the bad boy of babysitting. I'm the rude gal. You know what I mean? I get rude with my babysitting techniques, like. So the personality of your business is shaped by the manners of your business. Again, when you go to Chick-fil-A, they're like, my pleasure. It's my pleasure. Is it their pleasure? Maybe, maybe not, but it feels like it is. They've convinced themselves that it's their pleasure because that's how much they have to say that, right? It matters and it goes a long way. Smile. Can we talk about that? Rude boy Dennis. Can we talk about smiling? Let me say this. As a female, one thing that, happens a lot. Oh damn, I didn't mean to do that. I'm broadcasting as all these different platforms. Anyway, one thing as a female that you encounter a lot when you're out in the streets, out in the streets of the world, is men might see you and they'll say, "You was just speaking on this. Hey, peace to you, by the way, right? You was just speaking on this. So chime in if you feel like it." When you're out in the world and men see you, sometimes they'll say, like, let's say you walk around and you look like this. They'll say, "Smile," right? Like, why don't you smile? And then it makes you mad with good reason, because you're like, well, why do I have to smile? Like, who am I? Why is it my job to smile at you or smile in front of you? Maybe I'm not in a good mood, right? But you know something? Smiling is infectious and it makes people feel good. I'm about to smile at you guys right now, just like this. It makes people feel good about being alive and maybe that there's hope. I don't like seeing a frowny face. I like seeing a smiley face. So, I started actually being like, instead of being mad, I was like, let me take the high road and actually smile. When I see people, let me smile. I'm not saying I do it if I don't force it. I try to let it be genuine. But like, if I'm in a good mood and I'm out in the world and I'm seeing people, it's good to be seen. You know what I'm saying? I try to put a smile on my face and brighten somebody's day. So again, these are manners. But we're talking about business though. In business, your ass need to smile. Your ass need to be cordial. You need to act like you have a business. There's nothing worse when you walk into someone's business and they don't even look up and acknowledge you. Let me give you an example. I'm not going to say the name of this company, but there's this business at a local mall out here. This particular business they specialize in local everything. Everything that's in their store is local. It's very, very dope. But when you walk in their store, the chick who owns you, she's on her phone and she doesn't even look up and say anything to you, right? And I wanted to put something in the store. But the way she treated me kind of made me, because, I make stuff. Like I made, I made this. I made my jacket. You know what I'm saying? My jacket has all the Egyptian, stuff. Where I bleached it. You guys know. I made my earrings. You guys know how I am. You know what I'm saying? So I wanted to put some of my shit in her store. And I wouldn't say she was rude, but she was blank. She had no manners, right? Which is worse than being rude in a way. Like, I'm like, I'd rather you just act like I exist and cuss me out versus just acting like I don't exist and not saying nothing to me at all, right? So have manners, fam. Have manners with your friends, too. Don't just have manners at your job and then go home and treat your friends and your family like shit. And I'm not talking about nobody in particular, but if the shoe fits, I do need you to wear it. Stop being so grumpy and mean. Smile. Be nicer. The dude, homeboy Sandman, he got a song called Mean Mugs. You know what I mean? He'd be like, Mickey D's. He said, my dude, food you consume can affect your mood. He said, Mickey D's be pumping drugs. One result, mean mugs. He's just talking about walk around with a scowl on your face all the time. It's whack, right? Make eye contact with people. Eye contact is a lost art, and it's starting to really be lost because of phones, right? But make eye contact. Look them in the eye. Engage with them. Shake their hand. Act like they exist. And you're in a room with 3-4 people. Don't just look at the person you think is important. You ever done that? You ever seen someone do that or do that yourself? You're in a room with 7-8 people. There's one person in the room that you really respect. Like, you're in a room with 7-8 people, and one of them is, who do you respect? I don't know, Jay-Z or whatever. I don't know. And then instead of eye contacting everyone in the room, you're just like, yeah, so I always say, and you look right at Jay-Z. And then I think, because you just look right at Jay-Z like that, because you want his respect. And so you're acting like other people aren't even in the room. I was somewhere and someone was giving a presentation. And he happened to be a white guy. And we were black, and most of the room was white. And he never looked at us even once. He looked at the whole room and he never looked at us. I don't know if it was because we were black, but I couldn't help but feel like that's what it was. And I realized that he didn't realize that he was doing that at all. He did not realize he was doing that at all, right? So just be aware of it. Manners is everything, okay? It's everything. Because it adds to the mood and the experience, and it's deeper than just, and it's free. Manners is free as shit, fam. Just say thank you and please, yo. All right? Yeah. All right. So we're talking about customer service hacks, business hacks, like, share, comment, all those things. I'm Black Girl Gamer, aka Novakane Omega. You can follow me on all these different platforms. I got a lot going on. You know what I mean? Big up Zulu Union. Shout you out. All right. So I'm talking about how you can never be lonely or ever be broke if you just knew how to use proper customer service techniques. Okay. So we talked about communication. We talked about manners. Now let's talk about quality. Okay. Let's talk about actual quality of service. This is the easy part. I think this is the part that most people understand. When someone comes to your business, is it quality? Is it a good, there's a Walmart around the corner in Norfolk. And we call it the Black Walmart because that's where most of the black people be at. And then over here in Virginia Beach, we got the white people Walmart because most of the people in there be white. And I had to start going to the white people Walmart for a little while because the black people Walmart was like something I had never seen before for a little while. I went in the bathroom and it smelled like the Greyhound bathroom used to smell when you would, like, when I would travel or go up to Baltimore for school in DC. It smelled like that. It smelled like vaginas, fam. It smelled like vaginas, bleach, and vagina juice. I don't know. It was gross. I didn't like being in the bathroom at all. I definitely was hovering over the toilet. Other women were probably doing that too because they didn't like it, and it just caused a domino effect, and it was very disgusting. Why would I want to keep shopping there? Right? But I did, like a dummy, for years. And then after a while, I finally decided to stop. And then they got it together. They fixed all of that. It's not like that anymore. It's pretty clean or whatever from what I can tell. But, you know, my point is, this is something, quality of service. And when I come to your restaurant, I don't want to feel like I'm getting the last piece of fish or whatever. Sometimes you go to a person's restaurant and they'll say, hey, hold on, let me make you a fresh batch. Because they see that this is the last damn mac and cheese that's in the sternos, right? Like, nobody wants the edge of the mac and cheese. I want the fresh top of the mac and cheese, right? So if you're a good business owner, you get that. And you're like, hold on, let me make you, do you mind waiting? Do you have 10 minutes? I'm going to make you a fresh batch, right? Okay. So, yeah, let's have a good product that you can actually stand behind. What else did I say? Treat each customer like royalty. You know, you quality of service, and this goes with manners and stuff like that. Quality of service, it has to do with rolling out the red carpet. When you're going to have company at your house, if your mama raised you right, what you do? You clean up. You clean up the bathroom. You consider, okay, they might go to the bathroom. Let me clean up the bathroom. You at least clean up the rooms that you feel like they're going to be in or something, fam. If you ain't trife. You know, I'm not judging you if you don't clean up when your friends come over or if you don't at least consider what your house looks and smells like. But that's quality. You're considering the customer because your friends are customers. And I ain't talking about money. Like I said earlier, they're somebody who has invested time in you. Time is money. So they are the ultimate customers. And you're treating them like you don't care that your house smells like Cheetos and ass, right? Get it together, and milk and shit, right? You know what I mean? Get it together. Treat people like you care, like you take pride not only in your business, but you care that they're there and you want them to have the best, most quality experience possible. All right. And QVC, I got to say that quality, value, convenience. I think that's what it stood for. I worked there and I got to say they treated us good in there. That was a good company. They treated their workers really, really good. And it encouraged you to give a good quality service to the people that were calling in to order the stuff. And it's just that simple. Okay. Have receipts, you know, to show the quality, right? Reviews and stuff like that, and take pride in your business. Okay. So let me talk a little bit about that right quick. As far as receipts, I'm going to share my screen with you real quick, and I'm going to seem like I'm bragging for a second, but I'm not. It is a little bit of a plug though. So if you want a voiceover from me, I can do mild accents, voices, and stuff like that. But for the most part, I'm really good at professional commercial voiceovers, sexy voiceovers, characters, and training videos, PSAs, stuff like that. So I want to show you something real quick. All right, check it out. All right. So this is my Fiverr page. And this is my review. So far I've done almost 400 jobs on Fiverr, and I've been reviewed 242 times. I have a 5-star rating, and here are some of my reviews. All right. These are, newly published reviews and stuff like that. So let me revive the page actually, because I just should have got a brand new review today. Yep. All right. So this came in probably about an hour ago. Nova was awesome. She not only delivered what I asked her, but she also gave me tons of options for my project. Amazed to work with and would, I think she means amazing. Amazing to work with and would 100% recommend to anyone for a professional voiceover. Amazing work as always. Alexander Haddon. Nova was great to work with. She did a fantastic professional voiceover in just the right tone I asked for and synced it with the video presentation. Would highly recommend her for a voiceover. Once again, this is perfect, Nova, da 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 da. Absolutely wonderful, blah, 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 blah. Now, I want to point this out to you real quick, and then I'll get back into what I'm saying. So these are receipts dealing with quality. Receipts are important. When you go to Amazon, why do you go to Amazon? You go to Amazon because Amazon got reviews on it. And Amazon is, you can see what people think about these products before you buy them. So these are my receipts to ensure that you're going to get a quality experience from me. So one thing you can do in customer service always is encourage your buyers, your customers to vouch for you by leaving by leaving receipts called reviews. Okay, let them vouch for you. If they don't leave reviews, you can literally go to Instagram and see what they've been saying. Maybe you have a product on Instagram that you've been showing people and they say, oh, look at this. This is dope. Well made, blah, blah, blah. You can use those as reviews until you get official ones. And let me point out something to you and then I'll get back to it. All right. You see this person, LilyPad, 86. She's used me about 4 times now. Slender Road has used me 7 or 8 times. Alexander Haddon, twice. Jason Chad, twice. Slender Road again. There's LilyPad again. Pat Animation has used me 8, 9 times. Ubic Plus has used me twice. D. Watkins has used me all of maybe 10 times. Marche has used me before. All of these people, Roderick has used me before. Ed Stern has used me before. So I get lots and lots and lots of return customers. This person has used me like 10 times. All right. What is your point, Nov? Aside from bragging and making myself look good. No, I'm not trying to brag. I'm saying that the reason why they keep coming back is customer MFN service. It's quality of service. It's a consistency of service that they are paying for. They're not just paying for that voiceover. So you can fudge, if I had to make a metaphor for what customer service is like, I would say that it's like mixing and mastering a song. When you make a beat or something, it sounds good. And then you mix it though, and you master it, especially when you master it. And it brings all these hues and colors out of the beat, right? It brings a glaze over the beat that make the beat sound 20, 30% better with the same instruments, right? But you did a quality job. Better ingredients, better pizza, Papa John's, right? It's that principle. Let me just make every little part of my experience a joy for the customer. Very simple. All right. So quality of experience. So if you just join in and say peace to me, I'm Novakane Omega, talking about these business hacks, fam. So we talked about communication, manners, and quality of service. Now we're going to talk about what? Understanding. Understanding. I should say overstanding, if I'm being real deep and woke. Understanding. What do I need to understand, Nelv? You need to understand your client. You need to understand your customer, right? What do you need to understand? Have you ever asked anybody what they were selling? Like somebody saying to you, hey, I think you should try this thing out. And you're like, well, hey, what is it? Or let's sign up for this or whatever it is. You're like, well, what is it? And they don't know, like they can't explain it. That's fine. But when it's their product, it's the worst. Some people are like that about their own product. They don't know how much it costs. They don't know how much, you know what I mean? They don't know all the way what you can do with it. When they get in front of their customer, they don't really know what to say to bait them. You need to understand your client. You need to know your client. But before you need to know your client, you need to know your worth. I think one big part about knowing your client is knowing your worth. And I think knowing your worth really does deserve its own banner. What do y'all think? Know your worth. Knowing your worth is everything in business because it's what keeps you from being robbed. It's what allows you to really, really build your brand. If you don't know your worth, how can you build your brand? Does that make sense, right? Like, how can I sell myself to you like a prostitute if I don't know how much BJ cost? No. How can I sell myself, my wares, whatever, my services to you? How can I just convince you, which is a way of selling something? You don't have to exchange money. If I don't know what the hell I'm talking about, right? So we need to have an understanding. And in having that understanding, you know who your client is and who your client isn't. Because something that I've really had to learn over time is that I'm not always the person for the job. I've had to tell some of my voice acting clientele that. They'll ask me to do something that's really not in my wheelhouse. I'll try it though, because sometimes you don't know if something's in your wheelhouse until you try it. I'll try it out. And then I'm like, this is, I had one client, he wanted me to be a white lady, a Hispanic lady, and a black lady, and a smart handbag that could talk. And he wasn't trying to really pay me a lot neither. So I had to talk to him and be like, hey, you got to give me some more money to do all these characters. But then once he got me, and I'm like, hey, it ain't no guarantee that I'm going to be able to do all of these characters. You might want to get a Hispanic lady to be Hispanic, a white lady to be white, and let me be the black lady. You feel what I'm saying? But after a while, I had to say, it could be that I'm not the person for this job, right? Because he didn't get my, y'all crazy. He didn't get it. When you're booking a voice actor, it's just like in real acting, like in on-screen acting. You might want Denzel for your part, but then you still might have Denzel audition because you don't know if he's a good fit yet, right? Just because he can act, it doesn't mean he's good for your part. So understanding your services and understanding your client's needs and their wants and your worth, it'll help you solve an awful lot, right? And this goes to, hey, we're not just talking about what we're selling here. We're talking about branding. We're talking about marketing. We're talking about you guys. You guys are on Twitch, right? You have platforms that you're trying to build up. Your average viewer, what do they like? You can actually go to your insights and it'll say your viewers, they like this. They have a tendency to like these categories, and you can get demographics on your viewers and understanding them. This is the reason why companies survey people and they pay a lot of money to find out what it is what you like, so I'll be on YouTube. It'll be like, which one of these companies have you heard of or whatever. They're just trying to figure out the demographic of who you are so they can sell you some shit, right? So yeah, just knowing that, it really helps you. All right. So once you know your worth and you know your client and you know your non-client, now you can begin filling in the blanks, baby, right? Of what the client actually needs. Okay. Wow. I want to make nursing homes better. I keep hearing people complain about nursing homes because nursing homes are dirty, stinky. There's a lot of abuse going on. There's no accountability. They're understaffed. All of these things, right? This is me knowing my demographic. If I was going to try to go into a business and improve the nursing home environment or build a better nursing home, I know that, okay, what are my customers' pain points? What do they care about? What kind of people are they, right? And sometimes you can feel almost corny doing that. Like, instead of it just being organic, it's like, let me take mathematical numbers on all the people that come through the doors. But I mean, how can you understand the trend of the market that you're in if you don't kind of take stats on the demographic of people? So understanding your client and understanding your craft. Now let's talk about that. Don't be a professional. Why is it called a professional? Because you're professing, right? I'm a professional voice actor, meaning if you ask me, I will profess that I can voice act. I'm saying I claim a professor is a claimer. It's a nigga that claim, right? A professor claims to know, a professor of African American studies, he professes to know African American stuff, right? So you're professing to be this person, and then someone asks you, but hey, but my faucet is leaking. What are the things that could possibly be? Well, you see, you don't want to be like that, right? So having understanding is important. What I need from you is under. Hey. All right. So the next thing you need, and it kind of goes along with with understanding, is knowledge. So I'll just go through that real quick because I'm just going to end up rehashing a lot of what I just said. And when there's no need for us to do that, is there? Because you get it. You get it. All right. Know your craft, know your product, know your customer, know the etiquette. I'll talk about the etiquette a little more. Know the culture of the thing, right? Know the etiquette of the thing. I talked about that a little bit with the nursing home example. You're on Twitch. Twitch has a different etiquette than Facebook. You're on Facebook. It has a different etiquette than Twitter, right? It has a different etiquette. So instead of me just ignoring that as a person who is priding myself on customer service, let me go, okay, on this platform, It works like this. Let me do da 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 da. In this world, this means blah blah blah. Let me give you an example. In voiceover, it's a part of voiceover culture to do a lot of revisions. It's just a part of it. If I didn't understand that going in, if I went into voiceover and I didn't get, okay, revisions is just a big part of what you're going to be revising shit every 5 minutes in voiceover. If I went into voiceover and I didn't understand that, I'm going to have a hard time because the etiquette of voiceover dictates that people expect you to do revisions. The voiceovers are changing all the time. The company keeps changing the script. Sometimes they go and change the name of the company altogether, or they change the name of the website, and they need you to redo that thing. You can't be all in your feelings because you don't know the etiquette of voiceover, right? So that's what I mean about knowledge and etiquette and stuff like that. Okay? So next, availability, right? You need to be, I'll say responsiveness. That's better. Responsiveness. Being available is a part of that, right? Responsiveness is dumb crucial. Somebody trying to hit you up and they don't know if they're ever going to hear from you again, and they need something in a timely fashion. They need to know that you're going to respond quickly. When I respond quickly, people say, thank you for your quick response. You ever heard anybody say that to you? You respond, they go, thank you for your quick response. Half the time they're saying that because they're used to people not responding quickly. They're used to people taking a long ass time to do something that they said they were going to do or to hit them back. We were supposed to have a plumber come and fix this leak in here. Last week we had an appointment with the people. Was it the door people? There's been two companies that have stood us up in the past couple of weeks. And because I do voiceover and because unemployment and all that, we got money to spend. We sitting here trying to, I'm like, here, take my wallet, take my purse. And they won't take my purse. They won't take my wallet, right? Because they won't respond. Like, we're sitting here waiting on them to call us back. It already took like a week for this dude to call us back, and then he stood us up. So, you need to be quick. The person needs to know, can you do it? It's time sensitive. In business, it's time sensitive, and they don't feel like they should have to explain that to you, okay? So I'm going to start going a little faster because I actually kind of want to just do an hour of this. I don't want to keep you guys waiting forever up here with this, all right? Initiative. All right. Next, you need to take initiative, okay? So you need to have manners. You need to communicate, have manners, give quality service, understand and know what it is you're talking about. Be responsive, right? A mortal reacts and a God responds, right? If you are on God level, being woke, then you're not just reacting, you're responding, okay? You see, reacting is different than responding, Reacting is, responding is, okay, this hurts. Like, why am I in pain? Or, whatever. It's diagnostic, right? So now let's talk about initiative. Take some initiative. Go the extra mile. Let me pull that back up. Let me pull my review back up real quick, right? The dude said to me, he said, let's go back up all the way. He said, Nova was awesome. She not only delivered what I asked for, but she also gave me tons of options for my project. Now, why he said that was I did a character for a cartoon named Falcon Phoenix, and or it's for like a comic, either a comic or a cartoon, but it's like an animated thing. And she's the villain, right? And since I knew that I was going to be a part of a dialogue, I did a lot of takes. I did a lot of takes of me saying each line. I said each line over and over a lot of different ways. Like some of the takes, I did like 20 versions like of each line for the person. And it wasn't hard for me. All I had to do was just sit there and read the lines over and over in different tones with different tonalities. But for him, it's like, whoa, she didn't have to give me all these options, right? But for me, I don't know which one he's going to want. So I just say the line a bunch of different ways, right? So my point is, I took initiative. Instead of me just being lazy and just giving the person the bare minimum, right? I gave him more than what he paid for. But you know why I did that? Because he treated me with manners. That's one reason why I did it. But I also knew that I was going to get, and I got a $25 tip from doing that way. So instead of that being, what was that, like a $100-something job? Like, you know what I mean? It really took that up to $150 or whatever he paid me for this. All right. So do you see what I'm saying? Just take initiative. Don't be lazy. Like me. That's why they say the early bird gets the worm. That's an initiative saying. It's dealing with taking initiative, like not letting something just pop up on you. It's like what y'all ever seen Lord of the Rings, and he was like, let's ride out and meet them, right? Ride out and meet their ass. Don't just let it wait for them to have to say. Sometimes I owe my client something and I know that I'm swamped. I'm like, oh my God, I have so much work on my plate. I'm probably not going to get to my client's work till later on tonight. A lot of times they don't mind that, but say that to them and don't wait for them to hit you up. You hit them up. And sometimes I'm not able to, or I forget, you know what I mean? Getting older and I got a lot on my plate. So sometimes I do forget. But whenever I do take the initiative, they always say to me, thanks for communicating. Thanks for reaching out and saying that, or, whatever, right? It's everything. Rename this business and marriage tips because it is marriage tips. I'm glad you said that. These are spiritual tips. These are tips you can apply to literally anything in your life, even your own self, your dealings with your own self, right? You see that you're starting to get bumps on your face, take initiative. That means your body's trying to tell you something. Meet all the things I said about how you meet other people halfway, you could totally do to yourself. That's what she said or whatever. But all right. So that's all I'm saying. All right. So I'm starting to round it up. Where was I at? So take initiative, meet the client halfway, go the extra mile, right? Consistency. Oh my God. This is a place that I really struggle. I'm not inconsistent with quality. I try to be consistent with quality. But as far as just timing, consistency is just hard for me. It's hard for me to stay consistent because I wear a lot of hats and it's very hard to juggle these different hats, But still, any consistency you can get is what it is. Reliability, dependability. If you went to Chick-fil-A today and they didn't say my pleasure, and you would be like, where's my pleasure, right? Where's my pleasure at? That's what you would think, right? Where'd you put my pleasure, right? Can I get pleasure, please? Because that's the precedent they've established. So now they have to be consistent, right? They've consistently shown you that they know how to move the line quickly, no matter how many people are in the line. They've consistently shown you that they get, okay, let's put up less locations and then we can hire more people. The more people we hire, the easier it is for everyone working here, right? And we have a low overhead because we don't have 3,000 locations. We just have 300 locations, right? Or whatever, right? So the consistency, they found something that worked and they kept doing it over and over. And this is how you brand build. This is brand building. This is the crux and the essence of brand building. Every time you see Black Girl Gamer, right? Every time you see Each Nine Teach Nine, I use white, black, and that lime green color like that. Every time, and it may not be something that you notice, but it's something that I know that I'm doing on purpose, right? Every time. Black Girl Gamer, these are my colors. These kind of colors, right? These pastels, okay? Even a logo. I have a logo that, that has it, right? So, and everything you know what I mean? So you get it. Here's another one. And that's just mild branding consistency, but it goes everywhere. Have you ever seen a flyer or anything and it had like 8 fonts on it? It's like, come on, man, I can't even read this now. It's like, what's the motif of this flyer? What's the theme of this damn flyer, right? So what do you have to say here? No, at Black Girl Gamer, I'm about to have to head out to a site viewing for some. Hey, do your thing, man. Do your thing. Good to have you, Sir Vader. Give me some dap, sir. Let me make a fist just like this and dap you up heavily. Bang, 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 just like that. I appreciate you. Please be safe. And I thoroughly enjoy DJing. Everybody follow him. That's not already. I think everybody in the chat right now is following him. But if you aren't, him and DJ S. Dot. And I got like 3-4 DJs in my thing. All right. That's what she said. All right. So, boom. Appreciate you. Be safe, Ice-T. Andiamo. Ciao. How do you say goodbye? Is it ciao? I know in some languages, goodbye and hello are the same. Like, I think aloha is one of them. I think aloha means peace and like it's like a greeting for hello and goodbye. Ciao. Okay, yeah. Ciao. I had to say that in my voiceover. She was like, ciao. It's like an asshole villain that I had to play. She said, ciao. I had to say that. Anyway, consistency, fam. All right, I'm getting through it. Give me about 10 more minutes. All right, appreciate y'all. So, communication manners, quality of service, understanding and knowledge of craft, product, customer, client, whatever, responsiveness, taking initiative, and being consistent. Whoa, these are the pillars of customer service. What's another pillar? Because that's pretty thorough right there. Problem solving, fam. So now that we know, who cares if you know your client if you don't know how to solve their problems? What are they worried about? What are their pain points? What are they disappointed in you about? How can you fix it, right? Meet them halfway. I know I'm a little late with this, and I apologize if I created if there was any inconvenience. As a token of, my appreciation for your patience, 10% off your next order. Just come into my inbox and type da 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 or something. I don't know. Now I almost never have to do that line that I just did, but I have it in the Bama just in case I really botch up an order, because it happens. Sometimes you look up and you're like, damn, I didn't see this order in here and it's due now. I rarely do that. I've almost never done that. But still, I'm just making up something. Sometimes you drop all the cupcakes right when you were about to deliver them to the party, right? And now you have to hit the client up and say, hey, I dropped all your cupcakes on the ground. Now I can pick them up 10-second rule and get them over there to you and dust them off and hope you don't notice that there's sand and roly polies in them. Or I could just let you know, hey, I'm sorry. These cupcakes are on me. There's nothing worse than when you go to a restaurant or something and they have given you some shitty service, or they're giving you something that you didn't order. They need to deduct that. They need to make it free now, right? And I'm not one of those people who like, you need to make my meal free. I don't go crazy or nothing. But yeah, in my mind, I'm like, hey fam, I'm never coming back here because you didn't make it right with me. You didn't solve my problem. Okay. So problem solving, not only solving problems with your customer, between you and your customer, but also problem solving in general. All right. Problem solving in general, their needs, meet their needs, right? Formality. I only have a few more points here and then I'm rounding. Formality. Cleanliness, uniformity, dress for the part, have etiquette and manners. All right. Let me give you some examples. In voice acting, people hit me up and they say, hey, can you do this thing? Sometimes they'll come into my inbox and they'll say, I got a voiceover. It's 100 words. What do you charge? And in my mind, I'm like, hi, how are you doing? Hi, hope all is well. Can you start this? I'm a whole human being, fam. Don't come in here all informal like that. Let us build that kind of relationship, right? You can keep it cute. Like every blue moon with a client, you can use emojis or something, because we're kind of in a different world these days. So I noticed that some of the clients actually will use emojis and stuff. The most I might do is prayer hands. Like if the person is showing me appreciation and there's nothing really else to say, I might use prayer hands or something. Or I might be like, thank you for your patience. I might put prayer hands just to drive it home. But it depends on the rapport between me and the customer. But most of them, I just avoid any too informal terms. I don't say BTW or, you know what I mean? I say, by the way, like, you know what I mean? Like, be formal. Let's say you had a business. Let's say you had an ice cream truck, right? But you was dressed like you was about to go to the basketball game, right? You and your employees are dressed like you're about to go to a basketball game. Now, let's say you got an ice cream truck and you and your employees have on ice cream truck uniforms. You just look more professional. Nobody really cares. They're still going to buy your ice cream if you dress like a basketball player. But it makes your food seem cleaner and more safe if you just have on a uniform, fam. How do people know that someone works at Walmart? Because they have on a blue shirt and some khakis. If you wear a blue shirt and khakis, people think you work at Walmart. You ever have anybody mistake? I've been mistaken for working. I didn't have on khakis, but I had on a blue shirt. And the person was like, oh, where's the yarn at? And I'm like, well, the yarn is right here, but I'm sorry, I don't work here. And they're like, oh, because the formality that Walmart brings, even though Walmart sucks, but the formality that they bring is they have a uniform at base. At least be formal with your clients. Treat them like this is a professional experience, not just a fly-by-night experience, okay? Just because it's hip-hop, it doesn't mean you don't have to dress the part. Be formal. You put on something official, right? It's just something to consider. All right, and the final pillar, you guys, is results. Results. Be able to give the results that you are promising, right? Back to my rave reviews that you just saw on the screen that I didn't make up. These are my results. These are my receipts. Can you solve my problem or not? Yes, because look, here are the results of other clients are saying. I'm not just a client. I'm not just the president. I'm a client, right? I used to be bald headed. I'm just making this up. Y'all remember that commercial from back in the day? I'm not only a client, I'm the player president. He got that from a commercial, you know what I'm saying? Where the dude was like, I used to be bald, you know what I mean? And now I have hair. So it works. I can stand behind my product because it worked on me, right? Results. Be able to give your client what it is that you promised them. Don't stop saying you're going to do some shit and you don't do it. You don't fulfill it in the way that you said you would, right? It's not always easy, but you need to try your damnedest, right? Just like if you tell your child, hey, I'm going to be at your basketball game. I'm going to be at your piano recital. You try your damnedest to be there, right? Because it's important to them, right? In that moment, that child is your client. You told them you would do a thing. Or at least tell them that you're not going to be there and tell them why, but don't just leave them hanging, fam. So be prompt, communicate, fulfill the contract, do what you said you would do, and make sure your item or your service is as described. There's nothing worse. Sometimes I just got a gaming computer that I'm using to stream this broadcast, and I'm looking on the picture, and some of the reviews are like, it's a good computer. And the stats are right, but that picture is outdated. That picture is not what you get in the mail, right? It's misleading. The item is not as described, right? So don't do that. Don't talk so much shit and then somebody goes to work with you and you don't deliver on anything you said, right? I'm like, how is this a Jamaican restaurant and you don't have rice and peas? You don't have rice and peas, right? You don't have, like I said, I went to Modine's and they didn't have like 4 of the different things I ordered. So there's no results for me to, I can't vouch for the results. It's bad results, right? Item as described. Have the thing that you say, do the thing you profess to do. All right. So now I'm going to go over some do's and don'ts and I'm going to wrap it up. I'm going to bullet them real quick. So we're going to just review. So if you're still with me, I appreciate you. Let me do my spiel. I am a Black Girl Gamer, aka Novakane Omega. This is Each 9 Teach 9. But you can keep up with me on either platform, of course. Like, share, comment, all that stuff. I'm about to round it up. So this is last call for intellectual drinks and conversation. Oh, let me take this off the screen. How did I not see that? All right. So we're about to go over some do's. Let me take this off. Where is it? Well. We're about to go over some do's and some don'ts. Okay. So do's. Do follow up. Follow up with your clients, right? They inquired about some services from you. Follow up, respond, whatever that means in that instance, follow up. Especially if they've already used you and maybe you can go back and get a review from them, or was everything okay with your, just like when the manager walks around the restaurant and say, was everything okay with your food, right? That's a follow up, right? And it adds that, it makes your food taste better, right? So let me put do's on the screen. It's a funny word too. Do's. Okay. Here we go. Do's. Be thorough. Be thorough. I sometimes have a problem with this. I'm tired. I'm ready to go to sleep and I'm rounding up this voiceover and I'm not even listening. I don't even go back and all the way listen. And then the client is like, hey, you skipped a part. And all I had to do was be thorough, right? So be thorough. Apologize. Did you mess up? Were you late did you forget your anniversary for your wife? Apologize. That might not cut it, but at least you're acknowledging that you messed up. Are you the one that left the bread open and now the bread is stale? Apologize. Are you the one that caused everyone to be late? Apologize. Apologize. Do apologize. Okay? Show initiative. Do show initiative. Do have manners. Speak. Say thank you. Look up from your phone and greet your customer. Look up from your phone and greet the person walking down the street. Look up from your phone and greet people, right? Treat your customer like they are royalty, right? Have manners. Be formal. Dress for the occasion. Dress for the interview. Dress for the part. Dress for the presentation. Have a uniform. Have a certain thing that you do and a certain thing you don't do. Have a formal way that you address your clients. Always say hi first and then go into the message. Always address what they said to you. Don't just be informal like that. Don't just answer their question. Don't just answer it and not say hi back, right? All of these things are formalities. Be formal as you can without being fake, right? Anticipate customer needs. Show personality. Care about the customer's needs. Give a damn, right? Take pride in excellence. Be early. Excuse me. Be early. The early bird gets the worm, don't they? Be knowledgeable. Fix your customers' letdowns. These are all a bunch of do's. Encourage your customers to give reviews. All right? Let's go over some don'ts. Where is it? And let's go over some don'ts. Now, where my man at? All right. These are some things you don't want to do. All right? Never make excuses. You know? Even if you have them. Give them a real reason that would make sense to them. Like, okay, sorry. Literally, my computer broke. I couldn't finish it. My computer crashed. That's a real reason. That's not you making an excuse, right? But even if you have a real reason, don't harp on it. Don't make excuses, right? Don't blame the customer. Just fix it. They might be wrong as hell. Unless they're really wrong and they're coming for you, they're trying to come for your throat and talk like shit to you, don't blame them. Just eat it. Just be like, okay, I'll have that fixed soon. It could be their fault. Just eat it. Don't fail to properly greet the customer, okay? Don't be late if you can. Don't fail to respond. Don't fail to be formal. Don't be too informal. Don't be insecure about your services or anything you're offering in front of your customer. Be knowledgeable and confident in front of your customer. Don't panic if things go wrong, right? Don't tell them unnecessary bad things. Don't point out a bunch of bad stuff about your service. Just try to do your best every time, and don't point out anything you don't need to point out, right? Don't be disorganized in front of the customer, right? And don't shun criticism. If the customer is criticizing you, just listen. You might be wrong. I was watching Gordon Ramsay the other day, Kitchen Nightmares, and they were doing like a review on old Kitchen Nightmare episodes. And there was this one couple, right? And they had become a meme because they were like supposedly the only, it seemed a little fake to me, I don't know, but they were the only couple that they were the only restaurant Gordon Ramsay ever walked out on and didn't help them, right? Because they were so unreasonable. And every time Gordon Ramsay tried to talk to this woman, she couldn't hear criticism. And she wasn't the only one that was like that with Gordon, but usually the people come around because Gordon Ramsay got all the millions of dollars. He about to hook up your restaurant. But she didn't give a damn, right? You couldn't criticize her. She was one of those people. Sometimes they'll go on Yelp and cuss out the people who give them bad reviews. They'll go on Yelp and go underneath and be like, how dare you? And you don't have to come to my restaurant and you da-da-da-da-da. And it's like, just take criticism. How can you know if you got a booger on your face if you never can look in the mirror and honestly look in the mirror and see it? Look in the mirror at yourself and at your business and see what's wrong with it and what you can improve. You should actually take joy and pride in doing that. Okay, how can I improve my restaurant today? How can I add on? You ever been to somebody's house or their restaurant or their business or their stream and you come back and you're like, oh wow, you've really been working this, or you've been building this up. The studio has a real nice vibe in it right now, but we've been building this up over years and years, just trying to make it better. Every time we bring something new in the room, we try to get rid of old stuff and make it better and better and better. That's how you should always treat your business, and that's how you should always treat criticism, because criticism exists to help you, even when it's out of pocket and out of line. Hey, what's up, Mama Kai? How you doing, sis? I miss you. How you doing? I hope you're doing good. Formerly, it's a Riverdirty. Okay, yeah, I'm late with that. All right, so yeah, Redbird. All right. So those are the do's and don'ts. So now let me just do a quick recap of what I've been talking about, and I'll let you guys go. All right. Now that Kai's here, I can smile, right? I can smile and I can round it up. All right. So I'm Novakane Omega. You can follow us on Soul Trust Records for a comprehensive experience, but you can also follow us at individual platforms, Each Nine Teach Nine, Black Girl Gamer, Culture Chronicles, and yeah. So big up Solar Flare Network. Stay tuned for that. Like, share, and comment if you haven't done that, please. All right. So I've been talking about another business hack video about customer service, just basic 101 customer service, but not just how to treat your customers, how to treat your friends and your family in your life, and making sure that you're not treating your clients better than you're treating your actual family. If you can muster a smile for your clients, if you can apologize to your clients, if you can do all these things that I just said for your clients and for the job you work at, you can definitely do this for your family, okay, and your friends. Important, because that's been my problem. A lot of people I went to work with, they were awesome people when it came to doing their thing, when it came to delivering the product or artist or or speakers or whatever they were, but they may not have known how to treat themselves or other people. And it can't work that way. You have to know how to treat your clientele. And this is what takes a client from being a client to a brand ambassador, someone who will sing your praises forever. So we're talking about never being lonely and never being broke because of good customer service. And most importantly, not leaving money on the table. Never wasting your time because you're always squeezing the lemon. And one way to squeeze that lemon is with good customer service. I talked about good customer service being based in communication skills, manners, quality of service, understanding and knowledge of the product and the client and the customer and yourself, right? Being responsive, taking initiative, being consistent, knowing how to solve problems, and being formal and getting results, okay? That's it. So you can rewind through this video if you want to learn more about that. I'm about to take a little break and figure out what I'm going to do for dinner or whatever. And then I'll probably be back later to do some gaming or maybe even spin a few tunes or something like that. I don't know, whatever I feel like doing. But I appreciate you guys. I love you. Let me see what these final comments were. Miss you too. Oh, yeah, because I'm not on Instagram and Facebook as much. So that's usually where I used to see you at. I'm on Twitch a lot. So I'm trying to revisit those platforms and see my peoples, more. All right. And Redbird, as usual, thank you for your support. Anyone who will see this in the future, I love you. Is there anything that I have to say? Speaking of support, customer service and stuff like that, this is an excellent person, professional businessman, product designer, guy named Warren Cobb. If you're interested in Organite, awesome copper jewelry, unks, he makes eyeglasses, everything you can imagine out of copper, hit up Warren Cobb. His name is Warren Cobb, just like this, but he's with, oops, let me just do the one. He's with Level Up Art Movement. Okay. So yeah, I feel like there was something I wanted to say to you guys, but I don't know what it is. So, but yeah, check him out though. Cause again, this is somebody who is an exceptional craftsperson who practices all the stuff that I just said. Okay. So check him out, but I love y'all. I'll check you on the next go round. Peace and blessings.